everybody, welcome back. It's Liz with Liz Art Finds. We're here today with another haul video, and it has been such a cool week. My sales have gone like skyrocketed, but mostly because of a major event over on Niknax. And then also I've been loading more stuff into my eBay store, and some things are flying off the shelves within less than an hour of me listing them. So that's really exciting. So we'll go through all the sold stuff really quick at the beginning. Then I'm going to show you everything that I found this week. The coolest thing was I found fused glass, which you know I love to pick up, from 4 different artists. And the 4th one I didn't even know existed. So stay tuned for that. It's really fun. But let's get into solds, because this has been a crazy week. So when I left off last week, we were getting ready to do our big Niknax Zoo event, and it was amazing. It was only 30 minutes, but what happened was my show was birds, so I had all the birds up for auction, but then I had some other animals that I put into my buy it now so people could buy them. So people were buying before, during, and after the show. And my total sales, I'm going to show you everything that sold during the Niknax Zoo, because I took pictures, obviously. My total sales was $537.50. My total profit after the shipping, after all the fees, like the processing fees, the platform fees, etc., and deducting my cost of goods. Okay, so my actual profit from that show was $329.61, okay? Now, I was live for 30 minutes. That's amazing. Now, yes, there was some pre-work that went into it, and obviously I had to ship everything, but it was amazing. So let's look at the actual auction. I have 2 pages here of birds that sold during the auction, okay? So a lot of owls. This thing was amazing. I'm not sure I even showed that to you. It was part of an auction lot with a bunch of Fenton pieces, and it was this Fitz and Floyd rooster, glass rooster from their glass menagerie. It sold for $63, which was mind-blowing. Oh, Tanala Cat is on the wrong page. Oopsie. Tanala Cat was not a bird. He sold during the bin, and I just put him on the wrong page. So ignore Tanala Cat right now. But all the other birds did really, really well. The Thun is worth a lot of money. I mean, it sold for $45. I mean, I had found it for a couple bucks. It wasn't a big deal. It sold for $45, which was great. On eBay, those sell around $89. So that person got a really good deal, and I am so happy with what I got for it. So the Clemenson toothpick holder sold as well. That little guy, I love him. He looked like an angry bird. The lucite napkin holder that I just found recently sold for $22. I think I had told you guys it was 18 to 24, sold for $22. So we guessed that one right. And then we also sold these guys. That Fenton bird was, gosh, I want to say I got him at auction. He sold for $25. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I got him at the DC Big Flea, and I paid $20 for him. So I paid up. He only sold for $25. So I only made like maybe $1 or so on him. But anyway, so those are the birds that sold, plus one cat that I can show you now. So that cat sold during the auction. I had things in my shop that were other animals. And so these are some of the other ones that sold. Most exciting to me, that Claudine Buell fish. I've still got one more upstairs, a bigger one. He sold for $24. Let's see. Most of these others were small. I mean, the cougar I just got recently, he sold for $13. And then some of my favorites, the little long neck Italian cat, he sold for $10. The cashmere cat, I love that face, sold for $27. And this beautiful mug that had horses like on the outside, so like on the opposite side to where the handle was, sold for a best offer of $22.50. I think I had it listed at $27. So like I said, altogether my profit from that show was $300 and whatever I said, $29.61. So meanwhile, over on eBay, I went in and I fixed some things. Like some things had crazy weights, like I had a typo in the weight. Some things still had priority shipping, so I fixed all the rest of those. I adjusted some prices. I've been adding things in, and I had 5 sales on eBay this week. So for me, considering I only have like 190 something in there right now, that's really good. I want to get that number back up to 300, which is, you know, seemingly a good place to be as far as steady sales. Okay, so the bookends, these beautiful wood inlay bookends sold. I had paid $3.98 for them. They sold for $30 for a profit of $24.42. The Petoskey stone, I picked that up when I was traveling, I believe. I paid 99 cents for it. I had it listed really high, so this is one where I dropped the price to $12. I think I actually dropped it to like 16, and I took an offer of 12 on it. And actually, no, I had dropped it to like 24 and took an offer of 12. But so I didn't refund the excess shipping on that because the offer was so low. So my profit on that ended up at $11.48, which is fine with me. I sold the Germany mug, which I just listed this past week. I had bought, I paid $3.99 for it, sold for $18. It's a Starbucks mug, profit $9.94. This, I just decided to throw it up. Now, it's a 3D printed vase. I probably listed it way too low. But I was looking at the solds, and the other 3D printed vases around this size were selling like 8 to 12. So I listed it for $11.99, and it sold within like 10 minutes. So I paid $1.99 for it, sold for $11.99. Profit was $7.02. And then the last one is an interesting one. This is the Duzeta CC Zekin Italian vase and candle holder. I paid $25 for it, and I had it over on Niknax for a while, and I got an offer. I think I had it listed for $49. I had an offer for like 20, and I was like, oh, I can't take 20 because these things are selling for a lot more than that. And I decided after a bit, I waited a few more weeks, and then I decided, let's just see what happens if I shut that off on Niknax and run it over on eBay. And I upped the price from $49 to $59. And within a couple of days, I had an offer for $50, which I took. So I paid $25, sold it for $50. My profit on that was $20.16. So that was cool. So my total on eBay, let's see, I wrote it over here, was $73.02 for the week. So combined with the, what did I say, $329.61, profit is probably right around $400 for the week. So that's really good. It's really good. I mean, my goal has been to average about $1,000 a month for this year, and we're kind of on track for that. And I think I've told you guys my goal for next year will be $2,000 a month. So I gotta really get some listings up and get some more live shows going. As far as live shows, the next one is going to be, well, it's not the next one. The next one I have scheduled, or the one I have scheduled now is the Niknax, the next big event that they're doing is their signature series, and my show will be on the 21st of September, which is a Sunday at 6:30 p.m. I am hoping to do 2 small shows before that. I picked up a couple lots at auction. One of them is just a bunch of ducks, miniature ducks, and I'm calling the show A Box of Quackers, and I just haven't placed it in a time slot yet. So I'm getting ready to get that one in, hopefully this week. And then the other one I want to do is a pop-up. I've got this bag of brooches. Jewelry is not my thing, but I got a really good deal on this. So I'm going to run those, and it'll be just a quick 30-minute show. As soon as I figure out when I'm going to do it, I'm going to post it in the YouTube caption. So just keep looking back, like at whatever the latest video is. As soon as I have things dated, I'll post them in the YouTube caption. They'll be over on my Niknax, and then I'll be listing them on Facebook. So hopefully if you follow me one of those places, you'll know when I'm going to be going live. So, okay, we are 9 minutes and 42 seconds in, and we haven't even started our haul. Let's get into the haul. It's crazy. So, okay, first thing. me actually get my paper out here. So our first amazing piece of fused glass, okay? This is Peggy Carr, and it is the orchid vase. No, not a vase, orchid plate. Remember, Peggy Carr glass is always signed right here at like 5 o'clock. I think that's 5 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, yeah. It's always signed right here. So when you see something, first of all, it's going to be smooth. It's not going to have a ruffled edge. And it will always be signed right here on the front. Okay, PKG, this one is, actually says Peggy Carr, 2008. And then it's got a number after that. I think this was a limited edition. I need to do a little more research, but I see the listings, they all say rare. So yeah, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to list this one. I paid $3.13 for it. All the solds are right at $40, like $39.99, $40, $40, $40. Like they're very consistent right at $40. So it's a great pickup. The reason I'm hesitating is my mom loves orchids. And I just don't know if this is something she might love. So I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to list it or whether I'm going to see if she might want it. Maybe we'll do both. We'll see if she wants it, and if she doesn't, we'll list it. So there was that. This was at Savers, okay? I also picked up a couple weird things. This is not the new Savers. This is the one I normally go to. I picked up this little quilted, handmade, like, purse thing. It looks like it was never used. Like, the ribbon, this is in perfect condition. It's just like somebody made it. I don't know if it was maybe a school project or just someone made it for someone and it ended up at the thrift store. Super cute. You know, if you're into that sort of thing, it was really cute. So I paid $1.87 for it, so I had to pick it up. And I think it's worth in the 12 to 18 range. Okay, so we got that guy. I picked up another Starbucks mug. This one is London. Okay. And like I said before, the place ones do well for me. Now this is a little different because it's not the You Are Here, it's not the collector series. So I'm not really sure how well this particular one will do. The solds on this are, you know, all over the place. There's one that sold at $29.88. There's one that sold at 10, one that sold at 16. I'm going to call it 12 to 18, which is still good. I paid $3.13 for this guy. And then I picked up, and I probably shouldn't have, I don't know why I picked him up, this little fish. He's a mahi-mahi, and he's either wood or paper mache or both. He's adorable. And he'd be great for any nautical kind of decor display. So I think it's mahi-mahi or dorado. Really well done. Just a really nice little fish. I paid $1.87. I'd call him 6 to 12. There are some that are bigger that are sold to like put on the wall, but he's meant to be like just a display. So anywho, I got him. I picked up this purse. It is leather. It is made in India. The brand is Kooba, K-O-O-B-A, which you're probably not going to be able to see. But, you know, really good quality, nice leather. I did some cleaning on it. The inside is fantastic. It's like a satiny kind of finish. I don't know if you can see that so well. But it's in really good condition. So I paid $7.20 for this. Now this brand sells really well. Some of their purses are selling between $100 and $200 on eBay. This particular one, the solds I think were, let me see if I can find it here, $40-ish. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this did have a little hole that I repaired, so I probably am going to list it in the 25 to 28 range and disclose the repair. But otherwise, really, really good condition. So I picked that guy up, and like I said, I paid $7.20 for it. I also picked up a couple things maybe I shouldn't have. Disney always gets me, and I always pick up Disney stuff. Now this is just a little, whoops, upside down, sorry. upside down Disney drawstring backpack thing. They probably only sell around $8. It's not a big deal. I paid 93 cents for it. And like I said, $6 to $8 on this, but it is in really good condition. So I got that guy. And then I picked up one that I should have definitely left. Again, I was fooled by the Disney thing. And this is not a Disney tag. It just says Love Minnie on it. This is actually a purse that was sold at Walmart. And it looks a lot like some of the Loungefly. It looks like some of the things on a Disney tag. But this is not that. So there are no solds on this guy, a bunch listed. I paid $3.76 for it. The listeds are all 24 plus, but like I said, I did not see any sold, so I would list this in the 8 to 15 range and hope somebody picked it up. I mean, it's still brand new. Like it still has its little straps on it. It's never been used. So with any luck, you know, I can list it and still make some money on that. Okay, then this was midweek. I went out after work and I checked these out. This is so pretty. So this is made in Ecuador and it's like a mandala type painting. I think Tigua, Ecuador is what some of the other listings are saying. Paid 99 cents. The solds are in the 18 to 30 range on this, which is really cool. So that was gorgeous. I got the trivet with the dog face. Right, so this is tile, ceramic tile. The company is Pacific Blue Tile, which is not one I've heard of. So it says it's hand painted in America, original design. It is a golden retriever, I think. It's really cute. So I paid 99 cents for it, and the solds on these type tiles are 18 to 24. I didn't see this exact one. I did see other dog ones selling in that range. I also got a trinket. Which one of these two bowls? I think it was this bowl. I think it was this bowl. I picked up this bowl. It is potentially a candle holder. Could be a trinket dish. Could be anything you want it to be. It is signed MB, I think. Not really sure. Depending on how much stuff I have for the signature event, this may or may not go into it. I do have a lot of other pottery, but I want to do some non-pottery things as well. So I'm not sure. This will probably be listed on Niknax within the next week or two, possibly for the that sale. I also found this dish, which I was really excited by because on the back it says it's hand painted. It says warranted 22 karat gold. Okay, so the painting is actual gold, which excited me a little bit. However, upon cleaning and looking better, it looks like there may be some crazing in the glaze. And also when I looked up the solds on these, they're not that high. This was one that I did not look up in the store. It was like, oh, gold, I'll buy it. So I paid 99 cents for it. It may be worth 8 to 12. It may be worth less than 8. I'm not really sure on that guy. I'll have to list it and see what happens. And then I found a box of pool balls, which is weird, right? It's one of those things where, and this is gonna be so heavy, oh my gosh. I don't know how old they are. Like the box design, if you look that up, they all come up vintage. But if you look at the balls, like the color on this is so neon-y, which may not be showing up so well. They don't really look very used. So I'm not sure, like a lot of the ones that I see on eBay have like marks where the balls have hit each other and stuff like that, and like marks with the chalk, like you know how when you have the like the cue ball, you hit it with, God, I'm terrible, with the pool stick, and it leaves a little mark, like a little blue mark on it with the chalk. This cue ball is pristine, so I don't know how old it is. So I paid a lot. I paid $10, $9.99 for it. The solds are in the 18 to 35 range for that. Like if you find old, like, or unique, there were some that were like branded with a liquor brand or branded with maple syrup, or like had a really cool swirl pattern. Like anything unique like that is going to sell higher. Antique stuff is going to sell higher, like if they're older. I don't have a way to date these, so I just don't know much about them. So we shall see. And plus they're going to be really expensive to ship because they're so heavy. So, you know, in hindsight, I might have left them. I met a really nice lady in the store and was helping her with her finds. And, you know, she found some really good stuff. And it was one of those like, oh, what's in this box? And I opened it and was like, oh, pool balls. So I just picked them up. Anyway, let us move on. Later in the week, I went out, I guess this is 29th, not that much later in the week, a couple days ago. I went out to a couple places, and the first stop, I picked up some pottery. Let me grab these. I feel like I'm missing something. Yes, this was at the other place. Okay, so I picked up this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pottery bowl. Now, I've had pottery bowls like this, and they sell very well on eBay. It's signed-ish or stamped-ish. I think it's more of a stamp, so I don't think I can use it for the signature event. But again, these sell really well. So I'm not too worried about this one. I paid $1.99, sell 18 to 24 on this. Probably listed around 24 and take offers. I picked up the little tiny pottery bowl. This one is signed. It says Sahara, and then it says 09. It's just a little trinket dish. You know, it's just really cute. So it could be for a candle as well, or incense, you know, cone incense. And I paid 99 cents for that. I think 15-ish on that. I wrote 15 to 24. It might be on the lower end of that. And then I picked up another menorah because, you know, I'm collecting them right now. At some point, I'm going to list all of my menorahs. Probably either September or October. I'll list them all over on eBay and create a section in my store that's Judaica. And then I have some other Judaica stuff that I can put into that section as well. So I have enough now that I can actually get that done. So anyway, this is a menorah. The brand is called Right Light. I paid $1.99 for it. There's not a high sell-through rate on these. Listeds are in the 30 to 60 range. So I'd probably list in the 18 to 24 range and see if we can get it to move. So there's that. And then the thing you're most waiting for, thing I'm most excited about, I went back to Savers, and this again is not the new one. It's the one that I always go to. And I found yesterday, 2 days ago, I don't know, I found a bunch of fused glass. And before I show you that, because I'm going to end with that, I did find this really, really nice pottery piece. Okay, this is, and it fits together. So this is either for incense, as an incense, cone incense burner, or you could put a tea light in there, or a, like, the little flames, the electric flames, as like basically a light. So I just think it's adorable. And is it signed? It is stamped. Okay, it's signed there, or stamped there. I don't know the artist on that. I paid $3.20. I would call it 12 to 18 on the resale on that guy. I'll probably hold him for a pottery show. We'll see. We'll see how caught up I get with other stuff. Okay, so now the stuff that I'm really excited about. We're going to start with the least exciting, which is still a little exciting. So I found a side and stricker piece. But this piece is Bougainvillea. Now, a couple things real quick. Remember how I mentioned on the Peggy Carr that it's a straight edge, right? So you can see on the side and stricker, you can see that ruffle, and sometimes it's more pronounced than others. It's based on the mold that they use to slump the glass, and it's kind of a standard ruffle type mold. This particular pattern, I believe, is called Bougainvillea, and I believe it is one of the more rare things. Only because there's one listing that says Bougainvillea rare side and stricker. I don't know. I don't have their catalog. I don't have any information and know how many of things that are made. But anyway, side and stricker. So a couple other features, right? This green with the two-tone here, it's almost like an identifying thing for the side and stricker, and plus the type, it's like once you see a bunch of it, you can start recognizing the difference, like how different this looks from Peggy Carr. The other thing with side and stricker is they sign them on the back, okay? They'll sign out either the whole name, side and stricker, or they'll sign SYD, which I've seen in a number of cases. Now, it is really, really, really hard to find. And sometimes you have to go under the, in the light box with the loop to try to find it. And I thought this one was not signed, and then in the light box, and now I can't find it, but in the light box, I found it. And it actually is written out, the whole side and stricker. It doesn't just say SYD. It is somewhere on the back here. But I didn't put a mark on here as to where it is. It's typically on a darker color so you can see it better. But I do not see it, but I did see it, so I know it's there. So the side and stricker piece, and I almost left this in the store because I'm like, do I really need more side and stricker? I have so much I have to sell. This was $3.99. The solds on this particular design are much higher than your typical side and stricker. Typically they'll sell 15 to 18 in this size. The solds on this piece are in the 24 to 40 range, okay? So I'm excited, I'm glad I picked it up. So that's the side and stricker. Again, Bill Side and Stricker was kind of the father of that whole fused glass thing, and he was up in Massachusetts. And their company is still rolling with a bunch of apprentices and other artists. So this moves us to the next one, Ann C. Ross. Now, we've had one other piece that I've showed you guys in the past. It was a bunch of leaves by Ann C. Ross. Unfortunately, I learned that Ann passed in January of this year. So I think when we spoke about her last, she was still around. So sorry, I didn't want that in the picture. So anyway, this is Ann C. Ross, okay? And she was in Massachusetts, so my guess is she somehow either worked with or knew the side and stricker folks. So this is Ann C. Ross. So I was so excited. So the Bougainvillea was in a different spot in the store. This was in a different spot. And when I turned it over, because I could tell it was ruffled, right? So it's not a Peggy Carr. All right, and then I turned it over to try to see if it was side and stricker, because it didn't look like anything I've ever seen from side and stricker, and lo and behold, you may actually be able to see this. It says Ann C. Ross, okay? So it actually says AC Ross, and then it has a little copyright symbol. So I know this is Ann C. Ross, right? And I was pretty excited about that. So, you know, she was a really good artist. Her stuff is... The other piece I have is just so clean and pristine and precise. And, you know, it's not sloppy like some of the other things you might see out there. Just a very clean edges, just a beautiful, beautiful piece. So her stuff sells really well. I paid $3.19 for it, and this size will sell in the 22 to 28 range. And there's not a lot of it out there. It's very rare to find, at least to see the Ann C. Ross stuff out on the resale site. So that was really exciting. And then even more exciting for me, the grand finale here, this was right underneath it. And I'm like, oh, it's another Ann C. Ross, but I could not find a signature. And I know she always signs her stuff and it's really obvious. So I brought it home and put it in the light box. Because I mean, it's like the same size. It's like the same mold. Right? It's basically the same, and it could be the same artist, but it's not. So I put it into the light box, and lo and behold, there's a signature on here, which you may or may not be able to see. It's on the brown. You probably can't see it. It said Booker. I mean, I could read the book part, and I wasn't sure about after that, but I did a Google Lens search and it came up Booker. The gentleman's name is Bryce Booker, and he's another fused glass artist. Now, he's a couple years older than me. He's been doing it for a lot of years. It seems like he's retired, but he's selling off old stuff. Or he may still be making stuff. It's really hard to tell. So this is Bryce. He, for 20 years, had a studio in Newton, Massachusetts called Richmond Glass, or Richmond Glass Works, and it was in Newton, Mass. And they closed during the pandemic. So the end of 2020, November 2020, they closed shop. How do I know this? He has a Facebook page. He has multiple Facebook pages, but his Richmond Glassworks Facebook page talks about how, you know, he's really sad he's closing shop. But it said it was bittersweet because on the positive side, he's moving back to Maine. So he lives now in southern Maine. His Etsy page is still operational and he's still selling stuff as of this week. People have been buying stuff. So you can even get this plate from him for $30, okay? He also does smaller versions, sun catchers and whatnot. Again, very pristine, very nice work, very similar in style to Ansi Ross. Also a little bit of a ruffle on the edge, just a little bit. But yeah, we know now about another artist. I'm going to reach out to him. I haven't yet, but after the weekend, I actually am going to reach out to him and see if he'd be up for an interview or a visit, because that's up in the area where I go to visit family. So his note on his Etsy store talks about his business. It says, I've been handcrafting original fused glass pieces in my studio, Richmond Glassworks, for well over 20 years. Now that was when he opened his Etsy store, I think. I don't think it's been updated. So the Etsy store has been open 11 years. So he's been doing this for like 31 years. So he's really good. And he talks about the process involves applying a powder between two pieces of clear glass, placing it in a mold, firing in the kiln to approximately 1500 degrees. At this point, the layers fuse into one and the piece drops into the mold. Oh, so he does it in the one-step process, which is what, when we talked to Kim Folio, she talked about a one-step process as well. Because some places will use a two-step process where they'll fuse the glass first and then they will slump it into the mold. And it sounds like he does it in a one-step process. Once cooled, it's removed, cleaned, and ready for use. And all of the pieces are food safe, dishwasher safe, etc., etc. Slight variations in all pieces because air bubbles form as part of the process. And it says, my designs reflect nature, the seashore, and a wide array of holidays to cover most occasions. So that is Bryce Booker. Who knew? I certainly didn't. So we have another fused glass artist to add to our list, which is really exciting to me. So that is all from this week. Our total spend was only $55. Actually, you know what? That includes a shirt that I got for myself, I think. So somewhere around $53 or $54. And the projected total for the solds is around $332, and that's very conservatively guessing. So about 6x. So I got some really good stuff this week. Really excited about it. Like I said earlier, it was a really good week sales-wise, and this week is going to be a lot slower on the sales side because right now it's a holiday. I'm going to try to get some more stuff up on eBay. I'm going to try to get a bunch of stuff up on Niknax. And, you know, the next few months should be pretty great because we've got holiday season coming up and people are back to thinking about holidays. So very much excited about it and hoping to get a lot of my dead pile listed, get some things organized and cleaned out. So stay tuned. And again, if there's something that you saw today that you want, message me, because when you see this video, it will not have been listed yet. These things will be going up in the next couple weeks or so. So just, yeah, message me. One of the benefits of watching these videos is being first, you know, getting first dibs on anything. So just let me know. Please like, please subscribe if you haven't already. really, really appreciate you all for being here. And stay tuned for next week's video. And maybe, I can't promise that I'll have anything up before next week, but maybe. We'll see. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.